Well, this show just showed you why storytelling is important because this had more story in its first episode than all of Solo Leveling combined. Yeah. So, Kaiju number 8. This recent show that just completed was honestly one of the most hyped shows of the season and or all year for me, and it was worth it. Honestly, it was awesome. This show actually had me hyped a few moments here and there. The main premise being Kafka Habino, a 32-year-old man who dreams of joining the Japanese Defense Force to fight monsters called kaiju, and eventually, hopefully, he wanted to do that along with his childhood friend Mina Ashiro. But after failing multiple attempts, he became a cleaner for a kaiju disposable company. But in some shape or form, some creature entered his body. We don't know what yet, but it gives him the ability to transform into a kaiju by the end of the episode. Right? And that's how the show starts. Well, what I did like about this show was purely its animation. It's very well done. The character designs are distinct, all well made, and each had their own flair. Each had different personality that here you know what this guy was gonna say, you know what the other person was gonna say. It was just far better detailed than anything Solo Leveling had to offer. Sorry. Sorry. And this show immediately tells you who Kafka and his journey of him struggling, becoming into the Defense Force, you know, with Mina, and all leading back from a promise they both made when they were both young. He is very likable, clumsy, and works well with others, but grows as a dynamic character among creating this chemistry between the group he's in. His character development slowly showing who he is up until the reveal, paying off with you caring what the others think of him after the fact that he knew that showing himself as a kaiju was gonna get him arrested, if not worse. And it just worked so well. They pulled it off. Soshiro was a great character, with being very aware of any situation, who I also very liked about, because as much as he was very well self-aware, his fighting and just talking to him was very vital to the team, with the concern of having some entertainment because of how tough things were in the field that they're in, which why I think him bringing Kafka under his wing made sense. And also, he was the one who gave him the chance, the one chance he had. This show brings you in with the seriousness of what kaiju have done to the people personally, whether it was someone they knew died from the scenario or any other reason why they're doing it in the first place. But also, this third division squad overall, why they were so good together was the skills and chemistry, which helped in the writing was solid, bringing these characters together. By the end, you cared of each and one of them, what they think, which was very, very vital. What I disliked was actually Reno. You know, I do like him overall as a support character, although he is trying to also be as equal with how powerful he kept getting slowly throughout the show. But after the first episode, I didn't really feel like I learned any more information about him as a person, and his only character development he had after was just him getting better. That's all, and just hoping that Kafka doesn't reveal himself that easily. That's kind of it. Besides that, part of the story with how sudden some of these kaiju attacks were random was forced, sort of forced, and just for the story to move forward. They're learning very little why the kaiju were attacking in the first place, and why did they finally start thinking on their own just now and not in the beginning when they started. Whenever they started, because it took till Kaiju number 9 to learn what humans were in the first place. So this timeline of when it first started and what they're playing now Was it always the plan to invade the humans? Or why were they a thing in the beginning and now it's an invasion, but it wasn't back then? Some of these things I wish were a little more clear, at least. Maybe not the full story, but obviously the motivation to why they're doing it. The kaijus that actually are able to speak. Now, I've only watched the anime and I have read the manga yet. So maybe there's answers in the manga that just aren't in the anime yet as well. Which this show does miss some important information. Some that I should not be asking why. It should make sense. Just some basic world building mistakes on the anime side, I hope, and the manga clears it a lot better. But overall, this show was great. It was really good. I enjoyed my time watching this every week. This was worth watching. Very detailed and distinct kaijus that we saw. Power levels, great, amazing. This was something that was thoroughly enjoyed for everyone. Honestly, this was pretty solid. One that I could easily recommend. The music was spot on. One of the best intro songs in a while. I enjoyed some of the good writing that actually, and the small details. You're not gonna know them or see them clearly, but they always went back to some things some of the characters said, and it pays off later in those episodes, which was great. You know, they didn't do some of the anime tropes that usually would happen, and it didn't happen. So that I like as well. Yeah, for me, this show, Kaiju number 8, is an 8 out of 10. Highly recommend. I hope you guys enjoyed and watch Kaiju number 8. This was an anime worth watching. Till next time, Amore out.